Hello friends, and welcome back to what may quite possibly be the most incredible, groundbreaking, and historic YouTube channel on the internet. 80 Cell rinsing around. Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and stuff. We got hats. What about a hat? Today we're back in the garage working on the old white truck. Nothing super exciting. I have not, since I bought this thing, actually inspected the front suspension, and I'm getting pretty tired of the second gen steering. So we're going to take a look at all that. I think I'm going to empty my catch cans for the first time. Just give her a good once over here. Been romping on her quite a bit since the recent improvements. The head studs are holding. Oh, what is that? Head studs are holding nicely. No head gasket issues yet with the increased timing. The timing definitely is spicy and made a noticeable improvement. The turbo lights a little slower or a little later than it did before, and I get a little bit more smoke until the turbo lights than before. But once it does light, man, this lighting sucks. Once the turbo does light, it seems like it lights a lot harder and just smacks the shit out of the tack. It just, boom, 3,500 RPM, blows the tires off in third. It's a lot of fun. Gonna have to get some videos of that. I need a cameraman. You'd think that there's like 3 other guys that would be interested in being a cameraman. I don't know. Blake, Jason, Tyler, maybe sometime. Where are you at? Right there. Oh, I'm looking at you. But let's get started. So, just a quick demonstration for those of you who don't know what I mean when I say second gen steering. If you've never driven one, never owned one, that's a considerable amount of steering wheel play. But you can drive around that. But what sucks is you'll be going down the road, nice and straight, and then all of a sudden you hit a little groove in the road, and the steering wheel's over here. And then you adjust for that a little bit, and then the steering wheel goes over here. Pretty soon you're doing one of these, trying to keep it straight, and the cops think you're drunk, and it's just not good. Just not good. It once again is officially mud season in Kellyland, for those of you wondering. And don't mind my garage because it's a fucking mess. Wife's been off work for a few days, and so she's got some projects going on of her own, and that's always a good time. You know? Tools get left places that they're not supposed to go. There she is now. Note to self: make sure the wife isn't around when you're talking trash about her, because I'm pretty sure I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. Okay, so if any of you watched the other videos, we added these 2 vented valve covers to try and get rid of some crankcase pressure, mainly because this dipstick kept getting blown out of the dipstick tube, and then oil would just projectile vomit out of the dipstick tube and get all over everything. I tried to clean it up a little bit, don't get too worried about that. But good news, since the addition of the extra vents and the catch cans, which vent down there. What's this one doing? This didn't look nice. I'm gonna have to work on that. I don't know if I ever showed you guys. Just some mountable zip ties to keep them all in a line. I digress. So since we added the vents and the catch cans, this no longer blows out. I still have not replaced it. It's on the list of things to do. But a little bonus added side effect, it used to drip oil from a few different places, and that has all quit now as well. So we're definitely getting some more venting, getting rid of that crankcase pressure. I just pulled these cans off. I've not looked at them yet. This is the first time that I've opened them since installation, probably 1,000 miles ago. This one is from this valve cover, and it is dry. Maybe got some... Yeah, it's got like a little film. This one would be from the rear valve cover. And it's got some little bits of metal in there. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. This one is from the crankcase. And it is dry as well, so that's interesting. So that tells me that the blow-by is not that bad, or else I would have expected this one. You know, if the rings were toast, should be leaking compression past the piston into the bottom of the crankcase and coming out of this vent into this can. And since there's no oil there, then it must not be too bad. They're all three pretty well dry. I'm going to put back in and start looking at this suspension. Pro tip, before we get too far into this, you get your jack under here and you start lifting. Keep an eye on your ball joints, as well as the relationship between your axle shaft, like your U-joints there, and the hub and the knuckle. If you see any movement there, like the one end goes up before the wheel starts going up, it's going to be a good indicator you need a ball joint or a wheel bearing. So we'll check that on the way up here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that went about as I expected it would. You should have been able to see me rocking this tire this way. Just put one hand on the bottom, one on the top, and try and tilt it front and back, if that makes sense. That's going to test your wheel bearing and your ball joint. If you have any play at all, especially if you have play and you hear a clunking noise, then you want to do it while watching. And what I ended up finding was it looks like the wheel bearing's actually fine, but this ball joint actually has some side to side movement. So that lower ball joint on the driver's side is bad. The next thing we found, this one, the ball joints and the wheel bearings seemed fine, but this tie rod, you can see the boot's pretty messed up. It's junk. It's junk, and probably what is going to be the main cause of my poor steering is this joint right here. It is just absolutely toast. I can't move with my hand down here, but from what I can tell, I convinced the wife to come out here and help me, even though I talked shit about her. The steering shaft has a little tiny U-joint on it. It seems pretty tight, and the gearbox, as far as you know, when you turn the wheel, there's no slack or no delay in the shaft or the pitman arm here. So I'm thinking that the steering box is relatively okay, which is good, because if I have to do the steering box, I'm going to have to do the hoses and the pump as well. So I think what we're going to do is this joint here, I can't think of what it's called on the drag link. We're going to do that tie rod end. This one seemed okay, so I may leave it for now. And that one seemed okay, so I may leave it for now. Unless they're cheap, I don't know. Seems like nothing's cheap right now. Seems like nothing's cheap right now, but if they're 20 bucks or something, I'll just do all of them on the steering. All the joints. that ball joint has play. It's not horrible, so I don't think I'm going to do that right away. I despise spending money on repairs. Money should be spent on upgrades and maintenance, not repairs. Just drive it till it breaks. It's fine. Other things, the control arms bushings appear to be in good shape, and the U-joints appear to be in pretty good shape for their age. They're pretty rusty, but I may just, I was thinking about pulling the axle and doing all this stuff, wheel bearings. It needs brakes. It's going to get brakes for sure. And if you're doing the brakes on these, you just as well do the wheel bearings. But I may just throw pads on it, which is a no-no, but the rotors are in pretty decent shape. They don't have any big grooves in them or nothing. I might just throw brake pads on it and the rod ends for the steering and see what that does for us, and then revisit it later after it leaves us stranded on the side of the road. But just a quick little video. Wanted to get something out there. Appreciate all the support. We should be getting close to 400 subscribers if we're not there already by the time this video comes out, so that's awesome. Stay tuned for some more exciting stuff, and yeah, thanks for stopping by. Catch you on the next one.